I'd like to call the meeting back to order. Can I get a motion that we return to regular session?
Turn to regular session.
It's been moved and second that we return to regular session. All those in favor of the roll call vote? Supervisor Brown?
Aye.
Supervisor Kane?
Aye.
Supervisor Conwell? Chair A. Stroud? At this time, can I get certification of closed meeting, resolution 26-41?
Second.
It's been moved and second that we approve resolution 26-41. All those in favor of the roll call vote? Supervisor Brown?
Aye.
Supervisor Kane? Supervisor Conwell?
Aye.
Chair A. Stroud? Aye. At this time, if we all could stand for the pledge of allegiance and reflections. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now, if everyone could just pause with us for a moment of silence. Thank you. At this time, can I get a motion for the approval of the agenda as presented?
Second.
It's been moved and second that we approve agenda as presented. All those in favor of the roll call vote? Supervisor Brown?
Aye.
Supervisor Kane?
Aye.
Supervisor Conwell?
Aye.
Chair A. Stroud? Aye. At this time, can I get a approval of consent agenda to include minutes of the regular meeting, budgetary matters, and warrants?
Second.
It's been moved and second that we approve consent agenda as presented. All those in favor of the roll call vote? Supervisor Brown?
Aye.
Supervisor Kane?
Aye.
Supervisor Conwell?
Aye.
Chair A. Stroud? Aye. All right, moving on, proclamations honoring National Volunteer Week, April the 19th through the 25th, 2026. Proclamation reads, whereas volunteering of one's time and resources is a fundamental part of our country's tradition and is essential to its spirit, and whereas National Volunteer Week was established in 1974 to celebrate the impact of volunteers in their respective communities and inspire others to serve. And whereas volunteers across Greensville County serve the community with pride and commitment, continuously enhancing the quality of life in Greensville County and supporting the county's strategic vision to be a thriving, inclusive, and resilient community. And whereas it is increasingly evident that our nation's greatest resources is its people, and whereas volunteers have shown that they truly care and share generously of themselves. And now therefore be it resolved that the Greensville County Board of Supervisors hereby proclaims April the 19th through the 25th, 2026 as National Volunteer Week, recognizing and thanking all of our dedicated volunteers who lend their time, talent, voice, and support to the causes they care about, and urge all citizens to consider volunteering in our community. At this time, we'd like to recognize a few of our volunteers from our community. We want to recognize the Greensville County Volunteer Fire Department. Is anyone here from the fire department?
Chair A. Stroud, they had an officers meeting tonight, so they were not able to attend. Just wanted to share a couple of numbers from the Greensville Volunteer Fire Department. They currently have 44 members. They have 10 cadet junior members for a total of 54, and they answered a total of 433 calls in calendar year 2025.
All right, Jared Volunteer Fire Department.
Yes, Chair A. Stroud, we have Mr. Rawlings here. And the Jarrett Volunteer Fire Department consists of 34 members, and they also answered a large number of calls in 2025, so they answered a total of 130 calls.
Okay, I'm gonna recognize everybody, and then I'm gonna get the people that are here to come up front. Next is Greensville County Volunteer Rescue Squad.
Yes, they have 43 members and answered over 3,000 calls for last year.
and Virginia Cooperative Extension, and, let's see. Virginia Cooperative Extension and their volunteers, whether it's a master gardener helping to educate our community against invasive species or supporting someone who wants to grow fresh vegetables. The team who gives time to support youth programming and a week in the summer for summer 4-H camp. The volunteers support families and consumer sciences programs, and their impact is greatly appreciated. So if I can have a representative from those organizations. Everybody will just line up across the front here.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Can I now get a motion that we approve the proclamation for Volunteer Week, April 19th through 25th?
So moved. Second.
It has been moved and second that we now approve, April the 19th through the 25th is Volunteer Week, National Volunteer Week. All those in favor of the roll call vote.
Supervisor Brown.
Aye.
Supervisor Kane.
Aye.
Supervisor Conwell.
Aye.
Chair A. Strong.
Aye. Moving on, road matters. Do we have anyone here from VDOT tonight? All right, with no one here, please make sure that you are reporting your road issues to Lynn or entering them on the site. Also, citizens know that VDOT has a site that you can enter if you have any road issues, that you can go straight to VDOT's site and you can enter those and they will be put in the working order. At this time, citizens' comments.
Chair A. Strong, we had one person that started to sign up, did not finish. So did anyone wish to speak who started to sign up? Thank you.
There being no citizens' comments, moving on to old business, there being none, new business, resolution 26-49, opposing mandatory collective bargaining legislation, House Bill 1263, Senate Bill 378.
Yes, Chair A. Strong, in your agenda packet is attachment E is resolution 26-49, which is opposing the mandatory collective bargaining legislation. As you mentioned, it is House Bill 1263 and Senate Bill 378. These two bills would eliminate the local option and impose a state mandated one-size-fits-all collective bargaining framework that will be administered by the Public Employee Relations Board. It would shift the authority away from local elected officials and impose an unfunded mandate with significant fiscal and administrative consequences. It would divert limited resources from core services to new administrative and bargaining structures without dedicated funding. It would eliminate local flexibility to align workforce decisions with budget and service needs. And it would increase an administrative burden, litigation risk, and long-term cost for local taxpayers. This all comes directly from the resolution which is presented in front of you.
I move we approve resolution 26-49 as presented.
Second.
Has been moved and second that we approve resolution 26-49 as presented. All those in favor of the roll call vote.
Supervisor Brown.
Aye.
Supervisor Kane.
Aye.
Supervisor Conwell.
Aye.
Chair A. Strong.
Aye. Next, resolution 26-50, opposing utility scale battery energy storage systems, BESS. House Bill 891, Senate Bill 443.
Yes, Chair Astrop, this would amend laws that are affecting the authority and operation of Virginia local government. The House Bill 891 and Senate Bill 443 would make utility scale battery energy storage systems by right on any parcel that has previously been approved for utility scale solar. Currently, Greensville County has 6 separate utility scale solar facilities, so if this bill is signed into law, then they will be able to have utility scale battery energy storage systems by right. So this resolution is to oppose those 2 bills.
I move we approve resolution 26-50 as presented.
Second.
And it's been moved and seconded that we approve resolution 26-50. All those in favor with the roll call vote?
Supervisor Brown.
Aye.
Supervisor Kane.
Aye.
Supervisor Conwell. Chair Astrop.
Aye. Next, resolution 26-51, opposing ground-mounted solar energy generation facilities, House Bill 711, Senate Bill 347, attachment G.
Yes, Chair Astrop, House Bill 711 and Senate Bill 347 provide that ground-mounted solar energy generation facilities be located on property zoned agricultural, commercial, industrial, and institutional. They shall be permitted permitted by right, whereas the locality is required to consider every application for a special exception permit for solar facilities that conform to these standards. Again, this will be in opposition of a legislation that was passed.
I move we approve resolution 26-51 as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve resolution 26-51. All those in favor of the roll call vote?
Supervisor Brown.
Aye.
Supervisor Kane.
Aye.
Supervisor Conwell. Chair Astrop.
Aye. Moving on, Southside Virginia Education Center roof replacement.
Yes, Chair Astrop, Mr. Pope is here tonight to speak on behalf of this matter.
I'm filling in for Harvey, who's underwell, so I hope I can answer any questions you have. As y'all are recently aware, we experienced some storm damage to the roof at the college behind us. And we got some funds from the insurance company to replace it. The roof is so large, we can't replace everything at one time. So we broke it down into 4 sections. These estimates were provided by Roof Services Incorporated. They're merely estimates right now moving forward. Until we take the shingles off or the flat roof part off, we don't know how much damage it is to any underlying sheet or anything. So the first section we broke out was the higher roof in the middle section of Golden Leaf Commons and the roof over the lobby. This does not include the 2 connecting roofs on the north and south end.
Mr. Pope, if I may interrupt you for just one, I'm sorry. If you flip to the last page of attachment H, you'll see the options that are listed.
So the estimate to replace the roof in this section is $73,970. The staff is recommending that before we put the new shingles on, we install self-adhering ice and water sheet. That'll form a barrier. That way, if you ever have storm damage in the future, protect that sheet and underlay it from any water damage. That's not there now. So the cost to put that in, the self-adhering ice and water shield, is $9,893. That's a total of $83,863. This section of the roof right now, we're experiencing leaks in the building. So that's needs to be replaced. So option 2 or section number 2 is the front and back roof of the south end of the building. It currently houses the school board, Golden Leaf Common staff, adult education, GED, and the Southside Virginia Community College classroom and labs. The cost to replace the shingles is $107,929. To install the ice and water shield will be $11,958 for a total of $119,887. And also to replace any damaged sheeting, it's going to cost about $107 per 32 square feet. So if you look at the column to the right, this is just assuming all the sheeting is deteriorated or messed up, which is not going to be the case. But that's the worst case scenario if all the underlayment sheeting was damaged. So the third section is the front and back roof of the north end of the building. That's part of the Southside Community College classroom and labs. The cost to replace the shingles will be $1,426. It'll cost $11,310 to put the ice and water shield up, for a total of $172.7. The fourth area is the flat TPO roof. That's like a membrane roof, like a rubber roof, on the north and south ends of the building. That option will cost $261,958. We've currently received $85,000 from the insurance for weather damage towards the roof repair. We will receive another $40,000 after repairs are done. The current roof over the north end of the building needs to be replaced as soon as we can due to leaks. The shingle and flat roofing areas were installed in 2008 when the building was constructed, almost 20 years old. So staff's recommendation at a minimum to move forward with option number 1 and option number 3. There are 2 sections of the building that actually leak in that. The total of these 2 options, not including any replacement of any damaged, destroyed roof decking, will be $196,000. After insurance, that will leave a $71,599 balance. Again, that's not including repairing any roof deck or anything. This $71,599 plus any additional costs we need to be taken out of the fund balance. As far as option number 2 and option number 4, we will have to replace those roof sections, but we're going to include that in our capital improvements program for the next couple of years. And we can kind of keep that prepared so we don't have any interior leaks in the meanwhile. And like I said, we'll put it in the CIP, so we'll have those funds set forward to do it in 2 or 3 or 4 years. So all we're asking tonight is authorization from the board to move forward with the procurement process, get a contractor to replace sections 1 and 3. Do you have any questions?
If I can add something, Mr. Pope. Mr. Pope mentioned about the installation of self-adhering ice and water shield. This is very important. We actually had part of the roof leak on what you see is option 3, which is the community college side. That actually leaked this year, and we had all the ice and damage because this was not installed previously. So we strongly recommend to consider installing this as it's listed, because, for example, option 3 is a total of $11,310. As we mentioned, that had a leak, and the community college had some damage to their smart boards and computers, which are very expensive.
Typically, you only put in, I call it ice dam, where your valleys are at like 18 inches, and then where your star strip is up about 18 inches. That way, if you have ice coming down and it melts, it'll protect it from, we call it ice dam. But if you put it on the whole roof, it protects everything from future leaks in the future.
And that's exactly where it leaked earlier this year. We had other ice. And something else to note as well, when this building was constructed, it was constructed in multiple phases. So some of this was, pieced together when they constructed the different phases. And as Mr. Pope mentioned,
were done separate.
well, the phases were done and separately. When they added on some of it, they went back and adjusted some of the roof itself. As Mr. Pope mentioned, this would have to come from fund balance if you all approved it.
That was built in 3 sections, I think. Going to be 4.
And what I hear you saying is, option 1 and option 3 are the worst, in the worst condition.
Because they're currently leaking. Yes, ma'am.
What you're asking for is us to approve y'all put that.
Start the procurement process, yes, sir.
And as you see in the picture, option 1 is the roof over top of the entrance of the Golden Leaf. Option 1 also includes the large roof over top of the Golden Leaf. And then the option 3 includes the roof over the Southside Virginia Community College side minus the flat roof.
Yeah, the option 2 and the option 4, it seems like something you think we can hold off on.
Yes, we're going to include funds in the CIP program for the next couple of years. Yeah, right now we can hold off on that, yes.
We won't get, I'm looking at the lead part, but that's going to be.
Well, they're not leaking. Those 2 sections, they're going to need replacing there at the end of the life, but they're not leaking right now. That's why I think we have a couple of years, if we do something, we have another windstorm that breaks some tabs off, we can fix it with maintenance while we put this in capital improvements, so we will be funded in a couple of years.
I'd like to make a motion that we move forward with the procurement process for safety.
Second.
It has been moved and second that we proceed with procurement for options 1 and 3. All those in favor, with the roll call vote?
Supervisor Brown.
Aye.
Supervisor Kane.
Aye.
Supervisor Conwell.
Aye.
Chair A. Stroud.
Aye.
Thank you.
Next, Axon contract for sheriff's office.
Good evening, Honorable Chair, Honorable Board. Come to you this evening because our current contract with the Axon Enterprises has expired. This particular contract is for our body worn cameras, our in-car cameras, data storage, and accessories for our cars. This is very important equipment for us. We are in need to renew this contract. Our cameras that we have now are outdated in the contract, and in this contract, we will be upgrading the cameras and accessories if it's so approved. Been negotiating with Axon on this contract, and before do y'all have a contract before you?
Yes, it's attachment I in your agenda packet.
This is a 5-year contract for a total of $649,651.30. That's kind of pricey. We do the 5-year contract, we'll save $111,831. Again, this will include, upgrading 50 new body cameras, 40 new in-car cameras, and our data storage that's necessary to hold the video files and stuff for us. If we accept this contract, the first payment will be due May 2026. We'll have to come up with $147,793. $147,793.06. I currently have $8,000 in my budget that I can put there.
Oh, that's sure what I was about to ask. You read my mind.
Unfortunately,
So far, the rest of it.
this is where we at. We're kind of run out and we got to renew it. Like I said, this is vital equipment for us. It helps protect our law enforcement and our citizens. In the past, the majority has been funded by e-ticket, which this will still be funded by some of the e-ticket. But since COVID, our e-ticket collections have gone down, not up. We're working with the court system now to figure out how we can get that increase to where the breakdown is on the collections. There are several reasons for collections not being what it used to be. Some of the new legislators that Richmond has put in place. Some of it, we're not sure about the collections, what the collection agency is doing to collect. And of course, you got some that being government assistant, they don't hold them to the fire, so to speak, because of their assistance at the time. So we're working on trying to resolve those issues. So hopefully we'll get that up and figure out what the breakdown is on that. Again, I hate to come asking for bad news, but I'm gonna ask you for $140,000 so that we can get this contract signed and get it renewed by May of 2026. Again, I tell you, this technology is a must. It helps protect us, it helps protect the citizens. Unfortunately, all the technology is going up when it comes to public safety. And one reason this technology has gone up so it's because several things. The tariffs, the parts come from foreign countries and they're getting harder to get. And the prices, with the supply and demand, it's making the prices go up. And again, unfortunately, when it comes to public safety, everything going up, not going down. So that's kind of where I'm at. And again, I'm humbly asking that you will approve for us to sign this contract so that we can continue to use this equipment and hopefully we can work on getting the rest of it straight for the next 5 years.
Chair Astrop, as the sheriff mentioned, $8,000 has been identified in the current budget that they have. If there are any additional savings from the budget, then that will be applied towards that for their department. That would leave an additional $140,000 that you all would have to pull from fund balance. If you all approve this tonight, moving forward, roughly right now, $2,500 a month is collected in the e-ticket expenses, which would give us about $30,000 a year. As the sheriff mentioned, they're going to work on seeing what they can do to increase that. If we use that baseline of $30,000 a year in e-ticket expenses, we will need to move forward budgeting $96,000 a year. So the budget that's presented to you all, if you all approve this tonight, will include an additional $96,000 budgeted for the cost of these cameras.
Any other questions?
We gotta keep our citizens and our law enforcement safe.
I apologize for having to come to such a late time, but it was not in our control.
I understand, this is a lot, and we gotta work towards figuring out a way to pay this, but I think we need to approve the Axon contract.
That's a motion, I second it.
It's been moved to second that we approve the Axon contract. All those in favor with a roll call vote?
Supervisor Brown.
Aye.
Supervisor Kane.
Aye.
Supervisor Conwell. Chair A. Stroud.
Thank y'all so much.
Thank you. Next is We Got Your Back Community Team, request to restoring a historical landmark.
Yes, Chair, you drop in your agenda packet. We have a request from Mr. Washington, who is here this evening from We Got Your Back Community Team, along with Janine Bush, the Walker's Way Foundation, and the joining forces for the Restoring Historic Landmark Project. So Mr. Washington is here this evening to request a donation from the board.
Good afternoon, Honorable Chair, to the board. My name is Terrence Washington, founder of the We Got Your Back Community Team. Mr. Dean is not here today, so I'll be on speaking on her behalf as well. As you guys are aware, we came in a couple of times. I think the historic landmark is over 50 years old. It was donated to soldiers who gave their life for the people, not city, not county. The people are important. We are in the process of restoring it. We got the land surveyed. We come before the board asking for you guys' help to help restore the historic landmark and get it donated back to the people, the families that humbly gave their life.
Question,
Yes, sir.
okay. The land that it's sitting on, is sitting on private land,
The land is sitting on is Mr. Janine Walker.
it's private land,
Yes.
okay. If it's private land and people come there, is she gonna have a problem?
What do you mean when people come?
Because I have to give you this, there was a person that was sent out there to check to see what could be done about it.
Yes, sir.
She came out and screamed and hollered, "You have to get off my property."
No, it wasn't Mr. Janine Walker.
Well, let me say it this way. Whoever was out there, when the person came out, somebody came up and hollered, screamed, "Get off my property."
Yeah, but you can't blame Ms. Janine Walker.
But it's private property.
Are you finished? Can I ask?
No, it's private property. And my problem I have right there is this is, anytime you have private property, she could sell the property, the county can put up some dollars to go into this, and the thing private property, I think it should be property where anybody could come anytime they want, when they want to, and you can't do it on private property.
She has agreed. That's why we were restoring it, historic landmark. And you can't hold her accountable for what somebody else. It's just like I can't hold nobody accountable who come to your house. And she came before the board.
This happened after she came before the board. She came before the board, the person that was sitting in the meeting that night sent somebody up from the American Legion to go to see what they could do to help to get that restored. Someone came out and told them, "Get off my property."
I can't speak on that.
I
I'm
just,
here to request funds on behalf of the soldiers to restore the landmark. It's not gonna be a case that can't nobody go. That's what we wanna do. We wanna make it presentable for everybody to go take a look and start taking care of it.
Mr. Washington,
Yes, sir.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
I understand what you're saying.
Yes, sir.
When would you plan to do this? I know you're gonna have to schedule the May, but when would you plan to proceed with restoring or doing this?
We already started.
And
Yes, sir.
my reason for asking is could this be something we could address
our
I
date.
think this amount of money should be able to.
We can add it to the budget, if you all approve, it will be in place for July 1st of this year.
All right, I'm gonna ask for two things. Is there a way that we can get a statement from the landowner saying that she doesn't mind people coming on her property to look at this landmark?
Oh, yes.
And do we have any, like, do we have quotes that, show how much it's gonna cost to get it
Yes,
updated?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We have both of those. It's already worked out.
I think we need something, as Ms. Instructor said, something posted as far as like, free to the public, something of that nature.
No problem.
So do we need for action on this before we get that?
If you all like to defer action, you can, yes.
I move we defer action on this until we get something in writing.
Second.
It's been moved and second that we defer this action item. All those in favor with a roll call vote?
Supervisor Brown.
Aye.
Supervisor Kane.
Aye.
Supervisor Conwell. Chair A. Stroud.
Aye. All right, just bring that stuff and then we'll try to do our best.
Thank you guys so much.
Next, Greensville County Department of Social Services, Child Abuse Prevention, Carnival and Walk.
Yes, Chair Astrop, attachment K in your agenda packet is a Child Abuse Prevention Month Carnival and Walk. That will be held in the Department of Social Services building on Saturday, April the 25th, from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. We ask that you please arrive by 9:45 a.m. The walk will begin at 10, and they'll have a carnival shortly after that. It'll include games, face painting, food while supplies last, and fun for all ages. If you have any questions, you can reach out to the Department of Social Services, and this was sent on behalf of Mr. Holly, the Social Services Director. Again, this is Saturday, April the 25th, from 10 a.m. until 1 p.m. We ask that the community come out and be involved in this.
Thank you. Next, boards and commissions. The Planning Commission appointment term 4 years. Our previous appointees is Mrs. Adrian Chapman, Dr. Adolph Flowers, Mrs. Sandra Wiggins, Mrs. Annie Odom, and Mr. Jeff Robinson. All of their terms expire on April the 19th. I can only speak to my representative so far. Dr. Adrian Chapman would like to be reappointed, and Miss Annie Odom would not like to be reappointed, and she would recommend Keisha Hardy as her replacement.
My appointment, that Jeff Robinson will be reappointed.
So would mine.
All right, so can I get a motion that we accept the reappointments as well as the new appointment of Ms. Hardy?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and second that we reappoint all planning commission members except for Ms. Annie Odom, who will be replaced with Ms. Keisha Hardy. All those in favor of the roll call vote?
Supervisor Brown.
Aye.
Supervisor Kane.
Aye.
Supervisor Conwell.
Aye.
Chair A. Stroud.
Aye. There be no other business, can I get a motion that we adjourn to the Greensville County Budget Work Session meeting Monday, April 13th at 3:00 p.m. at the Government Buildings Boardroom?
So moved. Second.
It's been moved and second that we adjourn to April 13th. All those in favor of the roll call vote?
Supervisor Brown.
Aye.
Supervisor Kane. Supervisor Conwell.
Aye.
Chair A. Stroud.
Aye.
Okay, next, I'll get a motion that we go into, order and report.
So moved.
Been moved in second. All in favor?
Supervisor A. Stroud.
Aye.
Supervisor Kane.
Aye.
Supervisor Conwell.
Aye.
Chair Brown.
Can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
Chair Brown, we have two additions that staff recommends for the agenda. These will both be placed if you all approved under item 7, new business. The first one is item 2, authorize execution of Third Amendment to Dominion Virginia Power Generating Plant Water and Wastewater Agreement to address the needs of new liquefied natural gas facility, LNG facility being constructed by Virginia, Dominion Energy Virginia and Brunswick County near the Greensville County line. The second item, number 3, authorize execution of a letter from GCWSA to Brunswick County certifying GCWSA's commitment to provide certain utility capacity for use by Dominion Energy Virginia at the new LNG facility being constructed by Dominion Energy Virginia and Brunswick County, conditioned on an agreement between GCWSA and the city of Emporia by which Emporia authorized the provision of utility capacity to certain needs of Dominion Energy Virginia at the LNG facility.
I move we approve agenda as amended.
Second.
Been moved in second, all in favor?
Supervisor A. Supervisor Kane. Supervisor Conwell. Chair Brown.
Next, can I get approval of the consent agenda, which consists of the minutes and the warrants?
So moved.
Second.
Been moved in second. Roll call.
Supervisor A. Supervisor Kane. Supervisor Conwell. Chair Brown.
Aye. Next, we have item of appointment 9, old business, Little Shallow Baptist Church.
First of all, I'd like to say good evening to the board. Thank you for having me. Last time we met, we talked about the Little Shiloh Baptist Church. Their efforts, they're seeking to have the Greensville County Water and Sewer Authority replace the disconnected 3/4-inch water line currently in place and replace it with a 2-inch water line, supply line, to increase the volume of water available to the church. The crux of the matter is that the church received their 3/4-inch water line, and it coincided with the installation of the 16-inch line along Otterdam Road. According to Little Shiloh, they had no input as to the size of the line, and from the time it was instituted, they were unable to supply adequate pressure or volume to the church. They assert that it should have been a 2-inch line, as they should have been rated a commercial facility. Due to continued problems, eventually the water supply line was discontinued. They are currently a non-metered customer under our mandatory connection program, and they pay a flat fee. I brought this issue before the board last time we met and requested that we have an opportunity to go to Little Shiloh, negotiate, and basically see what everybody could do, that we could reach a happy medium. Well, reach a happy medium, how happy it is. What we came to is, and I really want to thank you guys for letting me sit down, because it was going to take a young lady in there. I was kind of afraid of her. But we came to an agreement, and the original estimate we had was $11,000 to put the line in. After looking at the administrative costs in different areas that we could put on the back of that, the new amount we came arrived at was $6,518. Now, as far as their assertion that the line was incorrectly sized, based on Virginia Plumbing Code reference from 2015, 2018, the minimum size for a commercial building is generally 3/4 to 2 inches. Ms. Cornwell, you had asked me a question about when would that have been considered, when there was a change where they should have been considered a commercial line. What I see is that the approach in the plumbing code basically changes, and you begin to see churches referred to as assembly buildings about 2020. At that point, they say that it's a better approach to look at the facilities in the church, how much water demand they have, and they should have a hydraulic analysis done. Now, they have made a request that we pay at first the cost of replacing the line. The church did meet, and I met with the board, and what the agreement we came to is pending the approval of the board that each side would be responsible for half that amount. Or the church would pay $3,259, and we would credit them the same amount. In looking at this situation, comparing the bill, because now they're gonna have a water bill, and actually comparing them to a similar sized church, it's gonna take the authority approximately 50 months to recoup that amount of money. So it's what we're actually doing is taking that and putting it on the back rather than just absorbing the funds. The recommendation from staff is that the board authorize the authority to replace the disconnected 3/4-inch water line with a 2-inch line, and that you also authorize us to credit Little Shiloh $3,259.27 so that we can proceed forward with the project.
This is only going under the road to the meeting, correct?
Correct.
I had the opportunity to go ahead and meet with the churches when came. Just a lot of discussion around running.
And what they decided to do was, when we met after we met, and what they decided to do was they don't plumbers. So they decided, so the county wouldn't have to resolve any calls, that they do the plumbing work themselves.
But they're still aware that they're gonna have to put it on.
Right.
Because they're not gonna get any more pressure,
Right, and
even if we put a larger line.
that has been my understanding of the situation, but at least it satisfies their buy-in because they do have quite a few restrooms. They have a baptismal pool, kitchen. And this, at least in this fashion, they're getting what they need to work with. And again, we're not absorbing the costs. We're more very simply putting it on the end of it where we can recoup in 50 months. Any questions?
Motion.
All right, we make the motion that we approve the project of Little Shiloh Baptist Church, and that we'll share calls between Little Shiloh and county.
Second.
Been moved in second. Roll call.
Supervisor A-Stroud. Supervisor Kane. Supervisor Conwell. Chair Brown.
Okay, next we'll move on to new business resolution WS 169, grass cutting contract. That's me.
Okay. The authority solicited bids, or rather quotes from several vendors for the grass cutting contract for facilities for the authority, the pump stations, the plants, and we received a total of 4 submissions. However, the issue was that the submission or the quote request specifically asked to provide certain types of insurance. Unfortunately, none of the vendors included this particular type of insurance certificate. And we feel it's better that we, as we're given the authority by the Virginia Code, do to actually reject all of them and start the process over. The insurance that we asked for was specifically, we dealt with the liability, vehicle liability, cash loss, and they did not provide this. Now, even the gentleman who had the contract before failed to submit this information. And it's important that we have this in place before we move forward for liability's sake of the county. So what we're asking today is that the resolution be approved where we reject all of the submissions that we have and start the process over.
I move we approve resolution WS 26-9, rejection of all proposals.
Second.
It's been moved in second. Roll call.
Supervisor A-Stroud. Supervisor Kane. Supervisor Conwell. Chair Brown.
Next, we have the added on, B, authorizing extension of the third amendment to the Menu Power Generation Plant Water Wastewater Agreement.
Yes, sir. A little bit of background. The county wanted to attract the cogen plant to the county. It's a good tax paying entity and the county wanted to do very badly. At that time, Virginia Power had water needs and sewer needs, and they had 1,200,000 gallons of water they wanted preserved for them per day, and 400,000 of sewage treatment plant reserved for them per day. And so in an effort to get them here, we agreed to reserve those capacities for them. Since then, history has been that they have never used anywhere near the capacities. We've got capacity that is unused, but is reserved for them. So that brings us up to today. There's a liquefied natural gas facility that's being constructed in Ponca County, just over the line near our cogen plant. The County of Brunswick, where it's located, does not have the utilities there, cannot satisfy the utility needs of this facility. So I was asking that we do so. And they wanted us to send a letter saying we would guarantee them 300,000 gallons per day of potable water at that plant. And also a certain amount of sewage, I don't remember, but I think it's about 40,000 gallons per day. And it's not quite as simple as sending a letter, because we have two contracts. One is with, well, let me back up. We were negotiating with Virginia Power, and they needed redundancy. They needed water supply from two separate boards. The city of Emporia withdraws from here and we from the Nottaway, so we satisfy the redundancy. But in order to guarantee them that water from both, we had to negotiate and entered into a contract with the city, which cooperated with us and did that. And they have their own contract with us. They guarantee us $1.2 million and 400,000 sewer, and we guarantee that to Virginia Power. And I'll say again, because it's important, that capacity has been largely underutilized for a long time. So now we come to the point where Brunswick needs capacity. The Dominion has agreed that if we make these facilities, utilities available at the LNG plant in Brunswick, they will take it out of their currently allocated capacity. They won't make any more demands on water, sewer in the county. They will take a part of their 1.2 million water and 400,000 sewer and let the Brunswick LNG plant use that. So I think it's a good thing for the county because you will then be receiving water and sewer fees from water and sewer that's now unutilized, just sitting there in reserve capacity. It will certainly help your neighbors in Brunswick County. I drafted two amendments, one amendment to the county's contract with Emporia. That is, Emporia, the city council is going to act on that in April. I think the exact date, but it's fairly soon. The other was with Dominion, and Dominion has already signed that contract, and I have it. So the request of the Water and Sewer Authority Board is to authorize A, signing of the amendment with the city of Emporia and its contract, B, approving and authorizing the signing of the amendment with the Dominion, I'm sorry, trying to follow. And the third is to send the letter to Brunswick assuring them that we have will dedicate this amount of water and sewer for use in the summer. So it accommodates Dominion, it accommodates Brunswick, it accommodates you because you will receive revenue you're not currently receiving, and it does no harm to Emporia.
And these documents that Mr. Slayton is referring to in the red folders, each of your stations, it has the third amendment, as he mentioned, as well as resolution WS 26-10. And staff requests action on those items that he mentioned, including the resolution.
I move to approve the third amendment to Dominion Power and resolution WS 26-10.
Second.
It's been moved in second, all in favor, roll call.
Supervisor A. Supervisor Kane. Supervisor Conwell. Chair Brown.
Okay, next we have item C that was added. It's the authorized execution of a letter from Greenville County Water Sewer to Brunswick County, certifying Greenville County Water Sewer commitment to provide certain utility capacity for the use of Dominion Energy Virginia.
That would be conditioned on Emporia acting favorably.
As Mr. Slayton mentioned, as of now, this is on the April 21st, 2026 Emporia City Council agenda for consideration.
So I make the motion to approve it contingent upon the city.
Yes, sir, that's in the
Motion.
Second.
It's been moved in second, all in favor, roll call.
Supervisor A. Supervisor Kane. Supervisor Conwell. Chair Brown.
Aye. Next, can I get a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Second.
Been moved in second, all in favor?
Supervisor A. Supervisor Kane. Supervisor Conwell. Chair Brown.
Aye.